Huawei Wi-Fi Mesh 7 Review. The Huawei Wi-Fi Mesh 7 is an economical mesh network that offers reasonable speeds. However, it lacks features such as security and parental controls, so there may be better solutions for many individuals. Huawei Wi-Fi Mesh 7 comes with 2 satellites in a box. They look more like storage devices than a mesh network, but the white plastic boxes are quite neat when set up. Both devices share the same specs. 4 gigabit Ethernet ports. This amount of ports means you probably won't have to buy a dedicated switch. The Huawei Wi-Fi Mesh 7 typically shows all 3 of its networks under one name, selecting the best based on range and capability. However, it can be modified to have each network display a separate name. This is an optional feature, but it can be useful for people who want to manage how their gadgets connect. Wi-Fi 6 Mesh network contains 3 types of networks: a 2x2 2.4 GHz, a 2x2 5 GHz, and a 4x4 5 GHz, with the latter running on higher channels and having 160 MHz channel support. To configure this router, users employ the Huawei AI Life app, rather than a separate app just for this device. This same app applies to their other smart home products as well, resulting in an occasionally crowded setup. Unfortunately, the AI Life app is more simplistic than those of other brands, and it was also slightly unreliable at times. During testing, we were kicked back to the main screen several times and had to quit and reload the app before being able to go back into the mesh system. After setting up, the features are rather rudimentary. Parental controls, for instance, can only let one schedule what time devices can access the internet. Each device has to be regulated individually, instead of enabling me to generate profiles for each family member and attach all their gadgets to that profile. Unlike Aero 6 Plus or Netgear or BRBK852, this does not offer any security controls or web filtering, even as a paid add-on. WPS and an NFC tag are available on each satellite, allowing compatible Android devices to connect with a simple tap of the phone. This is an impressive feature. Networks are for clients to communicate, and you can build a solid connection with an Ethernet cable, especially if it's reaching long distances, such as a building in your garden. To test the Huawei Wi-Fi Mesh 7, we placed the router in my living room and the satellite on the upper level. Beginning near the main router, we managed to gain impressive throughputs of 671.93 megabits per second. As we moved down to the first floor, the throughput dipped a bit to 399.495 megabits per second, but this was still sufficient speed. When we accessed the second floor, throughputs of 351.11 megabits per second were securely visible, demonstrating that opting for a tri-band design and being able to attach my laptop to the faster second 5 GHz network had paid off.